How's everyone doing today? And we are back, baby. This is OCS episode 29 for a live stream. And we're going to talk about Slaanesh Slushie, just a plethora of different Slaanesh stuff, exclusively Emperor's Children. And we're going to talk about Grand Onslaught 9. So stay tuned and locked in. What's going on, Thomas? You beautiful man, you.
I just dropped a paint.
Was it known oil?
No, I didn't spill. I dropped it. Although, unironically, I think it was my non-oil. It's the one that looks like it's missing. That actually, it actually is. Yeah.
Notorious for spilling. Notorious.
Never mind. So, if it's not non-oil, knowing me, it was a purple. Don't worry about it. I got spare. What up, everyone?
Yeah, what up, everyone? Hello, my peoples. Hey, first off, I wanted to start off by something a little bit different. I wanted to give a shout out to everyone who's always participated, who's always watched, supported the Onslaught Gaming 40K platform, me and Thomas on here. On Tuesdays, when we do the live stream, I want to say thank you very much to everyone, as always. It means the world to us to come every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, support us, watch us, do the things that we do. Just wanted to say thank you. Much love, much appreciation for all of that. I also want to give a shout out to a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to mention any names, but he hasn't been feeling well. He's been very ill. He's been in the hospital, in and out. So I want to say shout out to him. I wish him a speedy recovery, and I love you very much. I wish nothing but the best for you and the family, brother. So take care. Hopefully you get a little bit of enjoyment just watching us making fun of each other or just stumbling on rules or whatever it might be. But I just wanted to say I appreciate you very much. He is a proud supporter of the channel, of me in person, of Crucible, of all of my events and things like that. So shout out and much love to that individual. I don't want to give out any names just in case he gets embarrassed, but and it's pretty personal, right? So get to hang out.
All the cook kids.
Yeah. Yeah, you like that? So for all of you companies out there like Revlon, right? Hair products, I'm trying to get a sponsorship here. Okay? So trying to look beautiful.
What's that? Oh God, what's the that old children's shampoo? You know, no more Dr. Johnson's, no more tears. There we go.
He said I meant Thomas. I bet you did. Did.
I'm sure he meant luscious, but all I see is Lucius. We know why we're here.
It's it's really luscious though. That's why I'm a Slaanesh pretender, right? I'm really called Luscious the Eternal.
If you spend anything less than 16 hours a day in front of the mirror brushing and admiring, you're a pretender. You're a poser.
That's me. That's me. Thinking of Slaanesh all day long.
Dude, small side tangent, because I have unmitigated ADHD and I make it everyone else's problem. My family lived in a house for like 2 years-ish that one living room wall, the whole wall and like halfway down the hallway was just mirror. It was the most surreal thing to live with. It was just watching yourself watch TV. Jason Momoa, yeah.
I'm Timu Jason Momoa.
Look, all I heard was affordable Jason Momoa.
That's right. And the Tom, hey, I get to hang out with the cook kids. I love it, man. Hopefully I see you soon, brother. Shout out to Almost Functional, man. Check out their channel. He does a bunch of woofity things. So go check that out, man. They're always on their wolf shit. So it's a great show, man. Go check it out. When Space Wolves come back, and if they're relevant, if they're good, or if they play towards their lore, I'll be playing that too later on this year.
30 Space Wolf Terminators, 3 Land Raiders. There you go. Bjorn. I made the list.
Done. That's a winning list. That's the most competitive list, and you'll win every game.
Exactly.
So what's up with you, brother? How you doing, man? How's everything with you?
I've been sick. Feeling much better now, though. But, oh, man, my weekend was just gone.
Oh, man.
But,
sorry to hear that, brother. But you got to take more vitamin C, man.
I mean, I don't know. I have weak sinuses. Always have. Bad genetics. Need a mirror on the floor and ceiling. Tom, this is a family show, my guy.
Whoa!
Hey, look, if there was ever a show to comment that on, this is the episode. You know what? You're accepted. See, he is not a pretender.
He is not a pretender. He is embracing his inner Slaanesh.
He is trying to get other people to embrace his inner Slaanesh.
Gotta love it. Gotta love my peoples on here.
Don't do it. You know,
it's too late now.
This is that thing people do, Tom. Oh, the Harlequins didn't kill Custodes. They were Lucifer Blacks. No, own it. They killed Custodes, and we all know it. Right? Lewis, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
The clown.
Every matchup.
What up?
I said every matchup I do.
But you know, how about you? How have you been? You know, you have a much busier life than I do.
Oh my gosh! So crazy weekend. Almost Functional is actually one of those individuals that are going to be there. But I have Grand Onslaught 9 coming up, which is a grand tournament for those of you that don't know the name and what it means entirely. It's a GT of hopefully 80 people over the weekend. It is slowly but surely turning into something more greater than what it actually is as a grand tournament. I'm very excited, man. I'm doing something that nobody has done at this level. So I'm super excited. There's going to be 3 vendors there. Twin Dragons. There's going to be I don't want to massacre the name, but there's going to be a company, Privateers Gaming Company as well, who does 3D prints for terrain, which is really nice. And last but not least, we're going to have Art Echoes be a vendor as well, and he does 3D display boards. He does 3D models, trophies, things like that. So there's going to be a ton of opportunity for people to buy product there. There's going to be Slaanesh box sets there, which is really the Emperor's Children's box set, right? There's going to be a ton of that. There's going to be a ton of Demon Princes with wings, which are really going to be really good. Ton of product for Games Workshop. They're going to be vending on Saturday. There's also going to be a music concert. Shout out to Luke Ballin. He is doing a show Saturday night at 7:30. Everyone is welcome. Please participate. It is absolutely free. You don't have to play in the tournament. You could just stop by at 7:30 p.m. Saturday night. That is this Saturday to enjoy yourself. What happened? What'd they do?
The Zepho Gaming's last comment. I mean, both of his comments. We love to see the support. Thank you very much. But
thank you, thank you, brother.
His next one's the one that made me laugh.
So they have alcohol there, but if you bring something like in thermos or something like that, something very clandestine. I don't know what you have in that cup. I'm just saying it could be apple juice for all I know.
So, you know, McDonald's large cup on the beach rules. Got it.
There you go. With a slushie. Stop at 7-Eleven, man. Get you a slushie. But yeah, I'm super excited, man. It's already getting crazy. Especially that everybody is telling me, right? And I love that everybody's telling me. And I really can't talk about the things that I know. But I appreciate everyone informing me that there's potentially a slate this week. Tomorrow. So get prepared for that, right? That's really going to change the game, the meta. A lot of armies are going to see a lot of hard times, and some armies are going to get some glow-ups. One army in particular it really doesn't need any more good detachments. It's going to get a glow up. So we shall
Space
see.
Marines, all right.
We shall see. Negative. It's in the Xenos. It's in the Xenos form.
I had a disclaimer that this is all from GW's like community page where they announced there's going to be one, but I don't think that worked to this point. So I was going to drive. I am saying I am loving the Slaanesh hype in chat.
I am too, man. I am. So they say the Demonettes are still going to be very good for a lot of people who have the preview books already. So,
okay. So just a quick disclaimer. I don't know, but GW has a chance to go one of two ways with the demons. This has been a very big topic in Chaos Space Marines and Emperor's Children, obviously, and Demons chats as well, is what do these new demon data sheets mean? I don't know. I'm not, GW. But what I will say is they are not Legions Demonica demons. So whether all the gods are going to get their own keywords as this book comes out, and then the Chaos Demon Codex comes out, and they're just separated in the demonic incursion, you can use all four of them, or are the legions going to get weaker summoned variants of the demons, and the gods keep the good soldiers for themselves? I don't know. So that's all, because as it looks right now, as written, I believe Emperor's Children can still use the Chaos Space Marine rule where they like ally in demons, how Thousand Suns and Death Guard and World Eaters can. No one's doing that because it doesn't make sense to have a keeper with a Philopane, for example, for 10 points more than a keeper without a Philopane in one specific detachment. So, could go either way. Just a quick demon disclaimer out of my own head. This is not representative of anything. And if I'm wrong and dumb in like 3 months, then so be it. It won't be my first time.
I think you're hitting the nail halfway on the head. I think this is going to be the change to demons that they're going to do in their personal codex, and I think they're just testing it out in the actual Emperor's Children codex for some of the units.
Cheap Fiends and Fight First Demonettes are fantastic. No Philopane on Keepers and Shalaxi getting the vaunted triple nerf for no reason. Not as great, not as popular.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then Seekers are just good.
So Thomas, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised when all this stuff drops. You're gonna lose your mind. I'm just letting you know. It's an army that you play. You're gonna lose your mind. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Yes, Demonettes fighting first. That is really good. I mean, you don't get the chariots and things like that to buff you, right? You don't get the Legion of Excess stratagem where you can roll over mortal wounds onto the Demonettes and stuff like that. But it's still going to be very exciting. They're going to play very differently. This is more of a close combat army that hits like... It's not like Death by 1,000 Cuts by Harlequins, like Harlequins. It's more like getting punched by pillows.
Well, do we? You want to get into it? Because I mean, that's kind of like the other half of the episode.
It is. It is.
Well, before we do that, is there anything else about Grand Onslaught you want people to know or be aware of?
We'll talk about that a little bit more later. There's a lot of things that I want to detail about the event. So let's get into the Emperor's Children, and then we'll deal with that, brother.
Fair
so
enough.
let's talk about their Thrill Seekers ability that came out a couple weeks ago, and I know you want to kind of talk about this as well. You are a Slaanesh connoisseur.
I love this rule. At first, this rule is what the Tau's guiding. They wish guiding in Seekers was, because it's fantastic. It is army-wide advance and shoot, or advance shoot and charge, fallback shoot and charge, just across the army. Every unit can do it. Vehicles, monster, doesn't matter. You get to do it. But there's two stipulations. You cannot target a unit within engagement range. So if you fall back from a rhino that lived, those, Lucius, the Flawless Blades, Fulgrim, cannot recharge that rhino. Someone else has to do it. And the second one is you cannot target a unit that another unit shot or charged already. And so reading this at first glance, it sounds kind of restrictive. You're like, oh, I can't hit the same thing twice, or whether I fall back and charge it again, or if something else shoots it, I can't shoot it. That's not really how it works. This actually means is, one, like with most armies, transports just break this rule wide open.
Yep.
Because what advancing a rhino, which the rhinos have disembark after moving, just fun fact, what advancing a rhino and then making a disembark move with a unit of noise marines does for you? They didn't advance.
Yep.
So something else can advance and shoot first, and then those noise marines that got out can be on cleanup duty because they're not subject to this specific limitation for not having made the advance or fallback move.
Right.
And same thing with charges. Just because you have you can Fulgrim move 16, just like flying demon prince. I promise you, you can just follow him back over deeper into your own enemy's lines and leave that wounded rhino to someone fractured with a lord or something. They're not going to care. Fulgrim's other home objective, they got way bigger problems than a rhino on 3 wounds.
Yeah, you're talking about the desperate escape one that orcs have, and it's 1, 2s, and 3s. If that's the one you're talking about, that's the one where basically it's desperate escape on steroids, because it's also on 3s, and I've literally killed a riptide with that strat. So strong as hell.
Yeah, no one wants to be like I have my entire detachment is fall back and charge with everything in Vanguard Tyranids. And if an orc player is like, oh, you can fall back here, Broodlord and a couple of Gene Stealers, half of them are going to die. And I'm like, nah, I'm okay. But yeah, so that's a fantastic rule, but it does take some...
I love that name, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that is...
It just means group of conceited people.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
But it is extra, as it should be.
It is.
That is my vote for probably going to be the most competitive / strongest one. It's basically don't play knights or greater demons, the detachment. You play any other. God help your opponent if they're like Admech or agents or guard. Or Tyranids with spore mines. Holy shit, this gets real bad real fast.
Yeah, I can.
To go over it, for those of you who don't know, this is this chart here. At the beginning of your command phase, you dedicate a number of kills to Slaanesh. If you meet the number or exceed, this is killed units. You have to kill a unit completely. Which, even if a unit dies and comes back, Gilliman, Celestine, these other stand back up rules things have, that still counts because they died but revived. So they don't have to stay dead. They just have to go through the act of dying, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Or act of being killed, I should say. And as you can see, the more points you have, the better rules you get. And these are like, for those of you who remember 9th edition Drukhari, they stack. So you go from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7, you get reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll a wound roll of 1, lethal and sustained hits, and crit hits on 5s.
Yep.
Just all of it. Like, how would you feel if you were, a Custodes army that could pick lethals or sustains and just have crit 5s all the time, but also reroll 1s into hit and wound?
Disgusting. It's just...
Now, you do have to work for it. It does take, so they won't have this round 1, and I would say 98% of the time they won't have it round 2. Round 3 is probably a bit more average. Round 4 definitely, but and the thing is, the buff doesn't kick in until the next command phase. So if they get 7 kills on turn 3, they don't have crit 5 for the rest of turn 3. They got to wait till turn 4, then the buff kicks in. Now, if they don't need it, if turn 1 they say I'm going to kill one thing and it's a ghost kill, and oops, ghost kill did ghost kill things and lived, then they get punished. Their warlord takes D3 mortal wounds. And that is important because as soon as the warlord dies, they stop making pledges.
Yep.
So if you kill their warlord and they're only at 4 pack points, they will never get lethal sustains or unmodified hit rolls crits of a 5+. So very powerful, but this is also going to be another one of those kind of what's the word I'm looking for? By its design, it's going to stratify the like dedicated players from the "ooh, this is new and shiny and looks fun" players. Because you're gonna have some people who say this sucks, and they can never get more than 3, and before their guy dies or whatever. You're gonna have some people bragging that they regularly hit 7 by turn 3. It just depends on how you play and how you can measure it. One very important thing for this is there is a stratagem they have. I don't know if it's end of the fight phase or end of any phase, but the Emperor's Children player can, in fact,
Embrace the pain. Is it called this one?
No. That's a great one though. The one I'm talking about is the stratagem where they can increase their dedicated pledges by 1. So let's say they said 2 but killed 3 because they got lucky. One of your things exploded, whatever. They can then say, oops, you know what? Actually, I meant 3 Slaanesh CP, and now they're up higher. And that can really, if they decide to press the brakes, kind of push them over the limit real fast. So just...
But you have to have your Warlord.
Yes.
In order to do this. And that's at the start of the battle round, and then it ends at the end of the battle round, like you said. So you really, if you don't get it first turn, you're really only going to get it 3 turns potentially throughout the game.
Yep. And I think most people will get to 5+. 7+ is going to be people who know how to really utilize their resources, mitigate those fallback and charges for advance and shoot and fallback and shoots, and pocket that CP to maybe lowball it, say, it's turn 3, things are getting mixed up. I'll just say 3. Oops, I killed 4. Okay, oh look, I'm at 7 points now. So, because really what you can do is turn 1, you can pledge 0 or 1 depending on the army you're going against. You know, get it. If you get 2, pay the CP, you're at 2, turn 2. Turn 2, you pledge 2 or 3. You get 2, you get 3. Oop, maybe you got lucky and got 4 because they got over, you're playing Monka Tau or World Eaters or something. Okay. And the other thing I will say about getting this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone pledges my Gene Stealers and Broodlord unit, or a unit of Knobs and Warboss, that's 2 kills, right? If you kill the character and the units attached to?
Yeah,
it's just units destroyed.
Yep, units destroyed, that's it.
Yeah, so this character heavy meta we're in gets real funny real fast when, oops, I killed Banshees and Jane Czar. Or not, yeah, whatever her name is. That's 2.
Yeah.
You just got 2.
Yep.
So.
Which is what you're going to do, right? You're probably going to jump out with some Noise Marines because they have the the Rhino one. The Rhino Rush detachment. So they could jump out with a bunch of Noise Marines and probably roast a unit turn 1. Maybe even 2 with that unit.
Not even that unit. They can what are the what's it called? Blanking right now.
Fulgrim.
Battle line. No, one of the battle line units. Not Tormentors. Tormentor scout. So you put them in Rhino with the Lord, they scout. The Lord alone will probably ice a unit or majority of it by itself. So, because the Lord's basically a Chaos Lord with a slightly better stats and a rule. So
yeah, that's just like the Demon Prince. Yeah.
Then
Demon Prince is just significantly better than it is in the CSM.
Your Warlord is going to be Fulgrim or a Demon Prince. You're not putting it on some 4 to 6 wound Space Marine character. I promise you. Because the off chance you do take those D3 mortal wounds, you don't want, because again, once your Warlord dies, you stop gaining points. You retain the buffs, but you can no longer go up the chart.
So the bright side, so the pros and cons. If you take Fulgrim, he has to be your Warlord, just like Angron. So he'll always be on the battlefield because unless you're putting him in Deep Strike or Strategic Reserves, you're not putting him in the vehicle, right? And it specifically states that your Warlord has to be on the battlefield. So you can't keep him captive inside of a vehicle. The pro of that is, Fulgrim gets to be on the battlefield. The con of that is that Fulgrim is very easy to kill, and he might not survive 2 turns.
I'm dumb. You know who you're probably gonna have your warlord be?
A Demon Prince.
Or
Luscious.
The lone op with a feel no pain. Lucius the Eternal, yep.
Well, he's lone op by himself, but I get you.
Yeah. Oh, you're not joining him to a unit?
Probably not if Flawless Blades continue to be this pricey.
Even if they're, I don't think giving up lone op, because he also loses fights first. Because they don't fight first inherently, so the whole unit doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, they're a beat stick with him in the unit, but yeah, you could use, Luscious.
So on to the all right. So we've nailed this one on the ground. I think people get it. Don't let your opponent stack up, and if you're playing this, find a way to stack up for minimal losses.
Yep.
Real quick, embrace the pain. Fantastic stratagem. Blood Angels either do or used to have a strat similar to this, and I believe it's Hallowed Martyrs Sisters also have one. It is great. It is super funny to watch someone charge in their death brick unit, and then before pile in, because it's in the charge phase, you can heroic with a rhino even, and just tag 4 or 5 guys and say, don't pile in, please, don't consolidate, and you have to hit the rhino. And it's God, it's like that like a 6 break of not that you would take a 6 break, but this is we're in Wonderland right now. Of Flawless Blades, you just they charge in, 2 models make it, you just tag 2 or 3 with that rhino, half their attack is just gone. The rhino's probably dying. I'm gonna level with you, but what you wanted to live has a much better chance of living.
And just looking at this for the first time, it looks like you can circumvent the whole entire precision process too. If you read it, it says it must select your unit as the target of its attacks. That means you must hit the unit, and you can't precision to hit the character.
Well, I thought precision checked after unit, because if a Broodlord is in a Genestealer unit, you have to first target the Genestealer unit, then precision to further target the Broodlord. I thought. I genuinely don't know. I that's all. I assumed it worked that way because.
Not quite. So how precision works is I'm trying to look it up right now. So weapons with the precision in their profiles is known as precision weapons. Each time an attack made with these weapons successfully wounds an attached unit. If a character model in that unit is visible to the attacking model's player can choose to have that attack allocated to that character. Yes, you're right. So it hits the unit and it allocates it to the character instead.
But how it does get around it is you can just force them to hit a different unit than they wanted to instead.
Yeah, of course. That's the easy one.
This army is really going to reward movement and positioning. Having read over it, listened to multiple reviews, watched a couple battle reports, this unit, or this army, I'll tell y'all right now, it is not durable. All 3 Demon Primarchs in their own ways are tougher than Fulgrim is, just hands down. Fulgrim is the least durable of the Demon Primarchs, and it's by a pretty decent number of wounds. No, Anime, the reason I said heroic is if they only charge, say they, I charge Genestealers into Vol, not that I ever would, you could heroic in an Immolator and be like, cool, 6 of them have to hit the Immolator in Broodlord. Don't pile in, do not pass go. That's how heroic intervention could work with this strat in tandem. It could bring in an, A, B, see your way out of it kind of situation. But yeah, no, this army is, and as far as I know, only a couple characters in the Terminators have invulns. Flawless Blades don't have an invuln. The Battle Line don't have an invuln. Noise Marines don't have an invuln. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. I don't have a Codex, but I've been watching and seeing reviews. I didn't see only invulns I've seen are the generic characters, and the named characters, and the Terminators. And I think the Land Raider has one.
You're talking about for Emperor's Children?
Yeah, for invulnerable saves. But like all their infantry, other barring Terminators and infantry characters, they're just a 3-up save Space Marine.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, playing against a lot of those in this edition, they are not hard to remove.
Nope, just makes life a lot easier. So there's a lot of other attachments here as well.
Chosen.
Yep.
The obligatory take characters because we want you to. This one's funny because the timing is awful. Basically, start of the battle, your warlord gets to be the favorite champions, and then the first time, when it only happens once per player turn, an Emperor's Children character unit from your army destroys an enemy unit after resolving all of your attacks, meaning after everything all said and done. That character unit becomes the new favorite champions, replacing the old one.
Yep.
So you can always refresh it. Here's the funny thing. What you get is you get to reroll wounds if you're the favorite champion. But you only become the favorite champion once per player turn after a character kills an enemy unit. So you kill something, have to stay alive for your opponent's entire turn, and then you get to go hit something and reroll all your wounds.
Yep.
So it's about an entire turn too late for it to matter. But it's interesting. If someone could make this work, it seems really hard with being, and I cannot stress this enough, just Space Marines without an invuln.
Well, they essentially get power of pain, right? Just like Drukhari. They get progressively better throughout the game, and you can see that in the EC Codex. They progressively get better. Their abilities, this detachment as well, right? Your units get better.
Zephyl gets it. Sorry, I can feel that comment through the screen.
Actually, a lot of people have been saying this is actually a pretty good one, but we'll see. We'll see.
No, this isn't including all the stratagems and enhancements they have. And it's like, as far as stratagems go, this book is packed. Like, out of all the the enhancements in this codex, I think like 3 are straight up misses. That's from all detachments included. Yeah,
so just beautiful death. You just get a fight on death. Add 1 if your army's a favorite champion.
So 4 up, 3 up.
3 up, yep. And another one, just make an attack, add 1 to the strength characteristic of that attack. So just a little bit of additional strength to a single unit, a character unit. Not shabby.
Which it is the unit. Now I will say, this can be real good if you have Fulgrim as your warlord, and you just throw out a lord with some tormentors and Fractor unit with a lord, Lucius, Noisebringer with Cacophonist, and then turn 3, you just bring Fulgrim out and just start mollywopping people with the rerolls.
Yep.
Yes, elves, know your place in this galaxy. You had your time and you ruined it. Face a destruction of your own making.
They're not actually doing too well right now either.
Who, elves? No, elves.
I mean,
they have the second
trace, but
last I saw, they had the second highest win rate, right behind Legion of Excess. Funnily enough,
Yanari probably.
I forget which host because my God, there's so many hosts. But I want to say Warhost is actually putting up like a 56% win rate.
Really?
On hit, lethal, or sustained 10-man Dark Reaper units are insane.
Well, yeah, Fire Dragons.
Followed by 10 to 15 Fire Dragons and like a small 5-man unit, and then Windrite. Why are Warlocks like 30 points? Why is it a non-character 30 points?
And that's the best part. It's non-character too. It's like,
thank you, Zephyl.
Yeah, it's
I don't know how to pronounce
40 points. But yeah, no, they're gross, and they're non-character too, and everybody always gloats about it too every time they talk about it.
And when this data set drops, they get the character keyword, everyone's like, "Oh, they're dead," because I was just about to say with orcs being a thing, guard being really popular, what's it called, Emperor's Children here now, chaos demons in general, Guys, I know we're all locked into tactical secondaries, but oh my god, if there was ever an assassinate meta, we are in it. Like, most competitive lists I see are running 5 to 7 characters that they have to use.
Yep.
Like, there are very few, Gillimans or Triumph St. Catherine's that just sit back and buff the army for 5 turns.
Where's the Vindicar when you need him?
Don't. No, he's bad. No. You know what you take? You take 3 war bosses and 3 beast snagger bosses and just go crazy with the epic challenge stratagem.
Yep.
You do it the proper way. You've been playing elves too long. You're trying to find tricks.
Fire dragons, dark reapers, warp spiders. That's all that matters.
Now, I will say, I might be a little biased because my detachment has a precision on the whole unit, and my god, the mileage I get from that. Someone tried selling me the durability on one of their characters, and I'm like, cool. 46 attacks with dev wounds, rerolling 1s, hitting on 2s. Let's go.
All of them into that character. Yep.
She was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's precision. She's like, I thought it was epic challenge. I'm like, no, it's my detachment one. It's the whole unit. And she was like, oh, I might have miscalculated.
Grossly.
If I wasn't playing such a CP heavy detachment, I would run Assassinate in a lot of my games, but I too like tricks and I need CP for that. So, but
talking about the whole Emperor's Children, I think that Fulgrim is going to be subpar, maybe a B- in this codex, right? Just looking at it, it does. She only protects herself and she only cares for herself, which is pretty conceited, right? Pretty appropriate for the lore. She doesn't help out the army whatsoever. And she's not even a beat stick at that. Having fight first as a monster is just not, it's not amazing either. So the army's going to have a challenge trying to play with 385-point Fulgrim. I think you're going to see people just really pulling out Demon Princes, winged Demon Princes, that are absolutely amazing, with half damage innately as well.
Almost half damage.
No, I'm sorry. -1. -1, sorry.
Half damage would be you run 3 every list. Slam that shit in.
It's an auto include. -1 damage. And then having the ability to fly out there very far, 14-inch movement. Advance and charge, like, it's super fucking strong. You can hide it better. Like, if you've looked at Fulgrim, right, his wings are so far out, you can target it from anywhere. You're gonna have to walk with it, like, with its wings sideways. That way you can hide behind a electric pole or something to hide yourself, because you're not gonna be able to hide yourself behind anything. But ultimately, I think Emperor's Children is gonna be a subpar, probably B, lower A, if anything, kind of codex.
I think they're going to be bottom A. That's my guess. They're good, and as I've told you, I've told Anime. The mouthfeel I get is, especially after the last 2 codexes, oh my god, was I afraid of where this edition was going.
Yeah.
It's good to see a codex that is good, but answerable. And I think that's where a lot of codexes want to find themselves, is you have good rules, you have expression of player skill in multiple detachments, but you're not just like face rolling to win. It's not, oops, I can advance and shoot and I have 5 6s on turn 2 of miracle dice, or I have infinite fate dice and everything's just exactly what I need it to be all the time. But it's also not, not naming any admechs. Where are my rules at?
True indeed.
So,
it is great, but the skill check army, but it is the skill check army in 40K. It's like fighting a guy who's got a gun while you have a scalpel. Yeah, that's more like Harlequins.
look, Anime. That's all you do with something that's just mouthfeel. What else would you use to feel? You have a mouth, use it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Thomas, does she play with 2? I don't know what this means.
You kept calling Fulgrim a she. Which is,
whatever.
Arguably lore accurate. Look, Fulgrim spent millennia role-playing as different characters from her homeworld. There, no lore said all men characters. Okay.
Exactly. Don't assume it's Slaanesh. It's true. It's true. He, she, whatever it might be. I don't discriminate.
Fulgrim
I
is
love
peak
them all.
almost. Hey, Maxwell, what up, buddy? Almost. Fulgrim is almost peak androgyny. Peak androgyny is the Prince of Pleasure and She Who Thirsts. You remember that? I say confidently as he like just absolutely just he's gonna kill me next game. He's so much better player than I am.
He said, Max says, hey.
He knows. He's looking for that like 92-21 point win. It'll happen. It's fine.
Max, are you playing Emperor's Children as well? Lies and slander. He called you a liar. I believe it. He does lie a lot, just for the record. No, I'm kidding.
I am hot trash. At least you're hot, man. I'm just trash. Don't tell my girlfriend. She gets mad when I talk like that.
He said he could lose with Death Watch.
I'll lose with Death Watch. Just to lower the win rate.
So they continue to get buffs throughout the.
I sent ADHD. I sent a picture to my group chat of Meta Monday's snapshot of Tyranids, where Vanguard has like a 38% win rate. Vanguard invasion for Tyranids. Don't get excited, Space Marine players. And I was like, you love to see it week of FAQ. I don't care if it was written 3 months ago. 38% win rate, GW. Look at that number and nothing else.
How dare you? Fulgrim is the second prettiest behind Sanguinius.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have one who is thriving, alive, luscious, and the other one, blood pinata.
I think Angron is the most beautiful.
Buddy.
He's a pretty man.
Buddy. You like him swole.
Hey, to each their own, man. Okay.
Spirit Daddy in the warp sandwich. Oh my god. Isn't he like the second Primarch in the war? Third. Because isn't Ferris Manus there? And yes. Him and fucking
Lehman Russ.
Lehman, yeah. And maybe Dorn if GW can like stay with continuity, who knows? This is getting way too Space Marine-y. Back to Emperor's Children.
Yes. Well, I mean, they were Space Marines at one point, so.
They were, and I cannot stress this enough, the best Space Marines. They got the Aquila first.
Just very embellished and flamboyant.
I love, look, the Emperor's Children is my favorite Legion. Even when I first started learning about Warhammer, I never played. I heard about the Marines, and I heard Emperor's Children pre and post heresy, and I'm like, they're awesome. Then I got in the community, and I'm like, oh no, I'm the problem. Yeah. I'm like, oh god, it's me.
It's always your fault, man. You know that. It's like water, least path of resistance, man. It always falls down to you.
My favorite Primarch is not Fulgrim, though, I have to admit. My favorite Primarch is also dead, unfortunately. Gone too soon. The Night Lord himself.
Oh, Night Lord is a badass one.
Not Night Haunter, yeah. You give me Batman, but like just absolutely psychotic, I'm in. I can't,
Very psychotic. I mean, like eating people, putting their bones and carcasses on their bodies.
If people would just stop jaywalking, the flaming would cease. He was very clear on the matter. Don't jaywalk and you won't be flens in front of the entire continent. How hard is it?
Well, he was jaywalking to the Bloodblade, and he just took advantage before he got there.
Someone had a beautiful paint scheme, and I don't know who, but I agree. Less evil Batman. It's true. Batman. No, we're not going to get into that. That's too. So, steering us back, Emperor's Children are great. Flawless Blades, if I can talk about them for a second. I love their design. They're like the opposite.
Overpriced.
Of the Vortex Beast. Or like the Rail Cannon, where like it's such an egregious rule, but mitigated. So for those of you who don't know, it is I believe they're T5. They're a little bit tougher than normal Space Marines. Body that moves 6 inches because Emperor's Children can move a little bit fast. or maybe 7 inches. But
they're 8.
Good for them. See, yeah, good for them. Their claim to fame is they can dedicate it to their patron, which is, did you say you do it? And they have to kill one enemy model on their attack sequence in the fight phase. They're a melee unit. And if they don't, they lose one model out of their unit. Super. It's like hazardous with a thermal pain. Funny, great rule. What they get for that risk, that massive risk, is they get critical wounds on a 3+. And Lewis, feel free to correct me if I'm misquoting here, but a critical wound is just an auto wound. It doesn't check toughness, it doesn't check modifiers, it just says, I rolled a 3, 4, 5, or 6, you take a save. Anything in the game. It can be, custodian wardens, it can be a monolith, it can be a Warhound Titan. They don't care.
They don't care.
And I think they're like strength 6 or 7, AP 3, flat 2 damage.
Strength 7, go up to 8 potentially.
Yeah.
But I mean, as soon as things start making armor saves against that or -1 damage, they're just
not even that. They hit on 3s, no rerolls, and it's the only way that I know that from they get rerolls is there's a strat in one detachment to give a unit full rerolls to hit. And then there's the coterie of the conceded that gives you reroll 1s to hit and then 1s to wound when you get 1 and 3 points respectively. Yeah, so and the most important part, thank you, Zephyl, is it is 3 attacks.
Yep.
Which is, I just played a game, I don't think he's watching, against my buddy Brian, and he played Bloodletters for the first time. He charged him into an Exocrine and my Hive Tyrant, Flying Hive Tyrant. And the Flying Hive Tyrant did his psychic ability, which is start of the fight phase on a 2+, you lose an attack from every model in your unit. So his Bloodletters went from 20 attacks to 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they did as much nothing as you could assume. So stuff -1 attack, which is all over the place. Current Shalaxi, actual real Shalaxi, not Tibu Shalaxi, has it. Start of the fight phase, she just yoinks an attack out of your unit. It's great. And real quick, just so no one gets you with this, extra attacks cannot be modified on the profile. You cannot get +1 attacks for extra attacks. You cannot get minus attacks. So, like things like Squighog boys that have the Squighog jaws, those would not go down from this. Just to anyone who's worried about mounted stuff can.
Yeah, it's just attacks specifically. You can still get +1 strength and things like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, if you have any way to mitigate their attacks or -1 to hit them, which is much more common, because they hit on 3s. So even 3 attacks, there's 3 of them, 9 attacks, hit on 4s. That's only 4 or 5 hits. They wound you on 3s, 1 or 2 of those fall out. You got 3 saves.
Yep.
Even if it's a 6-up save, that's 50-50. You save one of them. So what? They killed 2 of your guys? Cool. That seemed worth it. So and
like 110 points too for 3 of them. Pretty pricey.
And like you said, 2 damage. I mean, you've played World Eaters. You know the pain, and even Orcs for that matter. The pain of having 2 damage attacks into a relative final pain or half or -1 damage. Like, these guys into a Catan would be hilarious. Because they're like, yeah, we're wounding you on 3s. The Catan's like, you're doing 1 damage and I'm getting a 5-up final pain, so go ahead.
Yep.
Like,
it's not that many attacks. Yep.
Also, I'm AP4 and you only have 3-up armor save, so and I hit on 2. So let's see who's gonna win this fight. Now that said,
that's why they're subpar. I mean, they're good for specific roles, but they're subpar.
Now they and Fulgrim fulfill one role that's very important for this army, and I can empathize with Emperor's Children players because we have the same problem.
Yep.
As soon as you hit T double digits, your damage significantly falls off.
Yep.
Other than the notable exception being Lucius. Lucius is a decently reliable way to smash through a tank that's already been shot by some noise marines or something. I guess Land Raiders and Last Cannons exist, but those are also hitting on 3s, no rerolls. Very easy to make it 4s. You don't want to do that. I mean, if you're already taking Land Raider, you might as well, but like, don't take it for the 4 last cannon shots. It's not worth it. Ask anyone who ran 2 Ballistic Dreads with no rule supporting it. They get 4 rerolls. And they're still outclassed by Vindicators.
For how long? Nobody knows.
Space Marines make my blood pressure rise. Not the players. Space Marine players, you guys are great. You're just knowing the hobby like me. You're fine. My God, the army itself, though.
It's just, there's so many data sheets. There's so much to Space Marines. There's so much information. Just to try to balance it properly is just a challenge. And I get where GW is coming from. But I can foresee that double oath, the double oath or the oath going on like the bloodless Blood Angels is going to disappear real soon. That's what's making Space Marines hitting above like average of what they should be doing. It should be exclusive. The Blood Angels are using exclusive rules for themselves, and Vanilla Marines using whatever they want. Specifically, the Ultramarines, right? Because that's the one that's really breaking it.
I have a slight disagreement with that assessment. I don't think it's the oath change that's making them punch up. I think it's the fact that multiple detachments get like 25 stratagems a game.
They get a lot.
Dark Angels, Ultramarines, and Death Watch, off the top of my head, all 3 of them have captains and 1 or 2 other characters that give them free CP or strats, and it's just like, So,
I mean, that makes it more challenging. But I mean, you played Space Marines, right?
No, I played against Space Marines.
That's what I'm saying. You played against them, right? So that oath of the moment with Girly Man, it's just gross. It's just gross.
I agree, but again, I'm through my personal lens. If someone looks at my Tyranids and says, I'm going to oath that and kill it, also I have +1 to wound, I'm like, you could have just stopped that oath and killed it. You didn't. Like, buddy. The plus, people are like, I'm +1 to wound your thing. And I'm like, that is never going to matter.
You're wounding them on 2s anyway.
And it never has. Like, even the Execretes, like, I wound you on 3s, like, or to 2s. I'm like, cool. All right, like you're gonna kill me, my guy. I'm a 3-up save and like a prayer. I don't know. So while I do agree, +1 to wound was entirely unneeded. It hasn't. I have not been personally victimized by it because I die anyway. So it's a bug life.
And before we continue on, we're gonna go ahead and pay the bills real quick, Thomas.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the lights on, or it's just gonna shut off one day. We'll be right back. We're gonna pay the bills. This is going to be a big sponsor also for Grand Onslaught 9 on Saturday. Hopefully everyone stops by and we see you then. Now with a word from our sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming dice. Our dice are made with premium resin materials and colored dyes. Each die is hand-mixed to the desired result and then carefully swirled with 2, 3, or 4 colors in a silicone mold before being laser engraved with a wicked symbol and finished in a matte or gloss polish. There are no imperfections in our dice, no balancing issues, no micro bubbles or mold lines. This is the difference between. You can, quite literally, feel and hear a difference with our dice. Whatever game you play, whatever style your team or faction rocks, we're sure to have something to elevate your game. With over 500 styles and over 4,000 customer reviews, welcome to the best dice on the planet. Now back to our show. And like I always say, Baron of Dice is an awesome sponsor. Have amazing dice. Go check them out. For those of you who live under a rock like Patrick from SpongeBob, and go check it out. They have some amazing resin dice. We actually give out a ton of them at Crucible. We're going to have some this weekend as well. Made by Baron of Dice. Thousands of them we purchase every year. We get like 3,000 to 4,000 dice for Crucible. We just give them away. So, and they're all Baron of Dice. So we give you quality stuff. We don't give you the cheap stuff.
I'm gonna Maxlaw just asked a relevant question. I'll take this one if you don't mind. Do we think the double free strat jank will survive the next FAQ/slate? I hope not, but I don't know if GW is like in the analytics enough to see that that is what's causing the problem, because that is a very kind of informed assessment to make, you know, like looking top down and just seeing, oh, Ultramarines are doing good and Deathwatch are doing good and Dark Angels are still doing good despite, you know, Deathwing Night nerfs or whatever, may not translate to, oh, they're getting 150% to 200% more strats than their opponents are. So I think the similar ability but different named, your unit can use it, reduce the cost of a CP, will probably get homogenized, but like Azrael plus Captain's probably going to stay, because giving you a CP and reducing a strat by 1 aren't the same thing. So who's to say? But I don't know if they look deep enough to really analyze that.
I don't think just to add on to that, right? I don't think that it breaks or makes Space Marines. I just think it makes a funky situation where they just become extra good for this phase because of this free strat or this free ability. I don't think that it makes them OP, right? I think it's just a mechanic in the game that just gives them a little bit of extra ability. Just like Oath, right? Oath is very strong. When you get double Oath, it's even stronger. Now that can feel a little bit OP. It's on top of stacking like Armor of Contempt when you're getting hit back, so it makes it a challenge. But I think Space Marines are always going to have something within that realm because that's who they are. They're the tactical geniuses, right?
Yeah.
That's part of their lore.
I like them as the jack of all trades or like specialist of one. The problem comes in when you're a Blood Angel army with 2 Vindicators and Oath, and now with +1 to wound for those Vindicators, and now suddenly you're master of melee from just your data sheets and lance and whatever, but also respectable enough shooting that it's just like what? Why? So that's but again, it's really hard to balance, and I understand that. I 100% agree. I think it's unintentional as well.
Well, they put it into the data slate, right? So maybe the potential and power of it was unintentional, but they knew what they were doing by adding it to them. They knew it. Like they knew that they were adding these free strats, and predominantly Space Marines were going to get the bulk of it, because they were trying to, at that point in time when they gave them that ability and the last data slate, is that they gave them the ability to basically, you know, get their ratings up, because their win percentage is just complete crap at that point. Now it's a little bit better. You see Ultramarines doing a lot, significantly better because of the combination of Gilliman and all of the abilities, the double Oath and all that. So I think it's the combination of those, you know, and that's what really makes them push high. But I think they need to specifically target Ultramarines and affect that. Don't like fuck up everything else for Space Marines. Don't mess up Death Watch and Blood Angels and Space Wolves because Ultramarines is giving an issue, right?
Yeah. And maybe take a look at Blood Angels. Never mind. Blood Angels probably fine. Death Watch. Oh my god. Someone look at Death Watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they try to give them a glow up too, right? And I can probably state that they didn't intentionally, you know, try to make Death Watch uber freaking powerful, man, because they're strong.
Yep. Turns out when you give people above average shooting, above average mobility, and, you know, above average melee, they get above average scores. It's wild.
If you're beating the odds, right? The odds of randomness dice, the odds of having to spend your resources, which is command points. If you're defeating all of those odds, then you have high toughness or high just tough armies that you're fighting into, and you get double Oath, you get Girly Man and all that. It just takes away of the specialty of those particular armies, right? It's just like Eldari. When Eldar had their dice, and they could just put it on the Wraith. What was it? Not the Wraith Lord, but what's the bigger one?
Wraith Knight.
Wraith Knight, right? They could put it on Wraith Knights, and you would take like 12 freaking mortal wounds because they flip the die. It's one of those situations. Not the same mechanics, but it's one of those situations.
Real quick before I answer Maxwell, to add on to that, it's also just a matter of, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, resource management. If you have less resources to manage, one, you're less likely to make a mistake, and two, your mental load is way more free than your opponent's.
Yep.
To answer you, Maxwell, yes, Ultramarines are the premier beneficiaries of +1 to wound.
Yep.
They are the Codex compliant chapter, so yep.
Yep.
And they
that's GW's kid. That's their baby.
No, you're telling me GW doesn't love Eldar more? Come on.
Ultra Queens is literally them. That's them. I think they like orcs more than Eldar.
Maxwell, I appreciate you. I think that every Space Marine chapter should just be split, get their own codex, stop shoving 5 in one and then letting these divergents pick those 5 as well as their 4. Just no, everyone gets their own book and you stay in your own lane. Stop.
It should be like Emperor's Children. It should be where you only get certain data sheets to actually assist you in your army, just like a lot of other codexes. Like, you shouldn't have the ability to download 100+ data sheets for Space Wolves. And I know, and I'm just using that as an example. And I know Space Wolves can't take apothecaries and things like that, but restrict them even more, right? Give them their own flavor. That's always been my issue, why I stopped playing Space Marines. They don't have their own flavor. You just take one book and you say, all right, I'm going to select all this crap in here that I like. I'm going to take the best units, and that's it. It's just I have a gray Space Marine army now instead of having Space Wolves, or I have a red Space Marine army now instead of having Space Wolves. This whole Bloodless Blood Angels thing, where you just take vanilla Marine units, right, that don't have the keyword Blood Angels in it, and just become exponentially more powerful. That shouldn't be a thing. It should just be like, hey, you have a Space Marine book, this is what you could use. You have these codexes, this is what you could use, and that's it.
I agree, and I also, sorry, it's him saying fists need the help. Just wait, Maxwell. Wait for that fortification meta to come around. Fists are going to punch out. But no, to your point, I agree. I think that, like I said, every Space Marine chapter should have their own thing.
Yep.
And like, I've played Ultramarines, Dark Angels, and Blood Angels competitively in 9th so far in Pry and Nexus. And every time it's like, oh, you have Dante instead of Azrael or Kalgar. And wow, there's the Inceptors. And oh, look, Scouts, Infiltrators, Vindicator, a Redemptor. My God. Oh, look, 1 or 2 units of battle line. How original. And then it's like, oh, here's your Sangard, Deathwing Knight, or, Blade Guard, or Eliminator Break with Calgar. Like, Apothecary Biologist, whatever enhancement the attachment gives you. I'm just like, oh my God.
What's hilarious right now, you're just ahead in arms because you're a green screen.
Oh, that's black. You guys can see Tyranids more. What? When I looked at my arms, why? I'm not technologically literate. Oh, there we go. Wait. I lost it. There it is.
There you go.
Ooga booga booga booga. Batman symbol, though. You have 3 wishes.
Yeah, 3
but
wishes.
Just know, whatever you get, Space Marines will get double.
Don't even get me started on that, Max. First of all, Seth could have had his own detachment. I'm pissed that they took him out of the book because I wanted to play Blood Angels, but I wanted to play Flesh Terrors. I never wanted to play Blood Angels. I think Flesh Terrors are just better in lore.
No, not you.
Yes. Dude, he's got that massive axe. It's like Cloud's sword.
Do you know where that quote? Do you know where that was said? Seth fearing red Ultramarines. Do you know the source? The sauce?
No, I don't know the sauce. I don't know.
Devastation of Baal, the Tyranid High Fleet Leviathan attacking Baal Secundus. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Learn your lore, nerd.
Nah, it's Space Marines. I'm good.
The Flesh Terrors were legitimately the coolest chapter in that book, even over the Blood Angels.
They are badass, and I'm sad that they took them out, and it is what it is.
I'm mad they made the Swarm Lord hesitate to gloat over killing Dante, so Dante could shoot him in the eye with an Inferno pistol.
What?
Yeah, he had him skewered, and before finishing him off, just looked him in the eye to gloat, and Dante's like, "Oh, cool, an opening, blam, I win." And I'm like,
what? He showed mercy. Should have never shown mercy. So what happened to the Synapse? Just they had a heart right then and there? What's going on?
Oh no, then they were gonna overrun, but then Gilliman showed up with the Indomitus and his Super Marines, and Seth was like, "Oh, these are just red Ultramarines," and Gilliman would have us all fall in line behind him, and it was a whole thing.
I mean, it would be nice to see him like in a special detachment, right? Since now they're doing Grotmus-like detachments. People are going to see in the next few days is going to be bonkers. But of all the factions that needed a glow up and a good detachment, was Space Wolves was one of them, and Blood Angels for Flesh Terrors. They could have done that as well. So I don't know. I'm super pissed with GW right now. They got their heads up their rectum. They're not doing product, right? Their marketing right now, or their manufacturing rather. The manufacturer right now really sucks. You can't get any product. Everything is sold out. Emperor's Children's box set literally sold out in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Scalpers, just grabbing it immediately so they can resell it.
Yep.
I've been through this before.
GW was like, we made our money. They don't care.
But they could have made more money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It makes no logical sense to me. Pariah Nexus decks, the card decks. Why did that come out twice, sell out twice immediately, and not just be an on-order thing? Why you just didn't have it on order? Manufacture it once they're paid for.
I had a chance to order a deck, and I didn't, because I'm like, this July is probably going to be the next mission pack, and I'm not going to buy a deck for 3 months of play. Like, I've been playing for almost 2 years without it. I'll go the next 90 or so days until the next sector theme thing comes out.
Yeah, I don't want to get into politics, but that could be absolutely accurate statement.
That was exactly my response. Is I don't want to do politics, but that is a smart insight.
It is. It's an accurate statement. It's an accurate statement, and I get it. But it sucks. It really hurts us. And you know what it really does, Thomas? It forces people to buy into more 3D prints, 3D machines, or just buy 3D product instead of buying their actual product.
Yep.
And what that ends up doing in retrospect, it only makes GW exclusive to their product, and every other event is just going to be like, 3D print your stuff out. Breaker Boys for orcs.
Yep.
You still can't find it like 4 months later. And I'm exaggerating. I'm embellishing a little bit, but it's been very long. You still can't find the new Tank Busters. It might be 4 months. I don't know.
No, it is. It was December. We're in March now.
Okay, look at that.
It's 4 months.
That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. All of the Eldari stuff, all the Eldar stuff that came out day one, you still can't get it now. You can't get Fire Dragons. You can't get Dark Reapers. You can't get Warp Spiders. What that does to an individual like me who doesn't want to jump into multiple armies, I just end up not spending any money at all.
Yep.
And as a manufacturer, as a company, that's not how you want your consumers thinking. You don't want your consumers thinking out of the box and saying, hey, I'm just going to go to Etsy and get this shit 3D printed for me.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but I'm full disclosure, I'm not in the hide. I waited for 9 months to pick up a Maleceptor kit because I couldn't get one. And finally, I broke down and had one 3D printed. I had 3. And I'm like, everything else in my army is GW, but they didn't have these in stock, and I want to play their game. So I don't feel like I'm taking money out of their pocket if they didn't have it for me to spend in the first place.
Exactly.
And and people ask, and I tell them the truth. I don't know nothing to hide. I'm like, yeah, I support GW. The rest of this is GW, but they didn't have what I wanted and needed in stock. So I had to go somewhere else.
Space Vampire. Yeah. It's true. It's true, man. Like I tell people all the time, people are like, I can't get this model because they don't sell it other than in Kill Team, and I'm not dropping $230 just for one unit, right? Get you some Orc Boys, get you some Breaker Boys type of hammers, printed out, 3D printed out, and call it a day. Come to my events and enjoy yourself.
Hey, look, you want to support GW and you have money to burn, buy knobs, buy the Sigmarines from Age of Sigmar for their hammers, and buy Storm Boys for the rockets. With those 3 kits, I feel like you can make a Breaker Boy.
Yeah, but you gotta buy 3 kits.
Look, we all know we're all rich playing 40K. We know the prices.
Yeah, we're all rich. Exactly. Yeah, sure. Nah, I'm good. General use.
I was scarred looking for soul grinders. Don't ever Google Slaanesh soul grinder. Just don't do it. Because there are 3D prints and people be wild. People be wild, man. I thought the craziest 3D print I ever saw was Topless Sisters of Battle. I was quickly disavowed of that illusion. Very quickly.
I mean, you've seen Creature Caster with their Slaanesh stuff. I mean, very erotic. Very erotic.
I love their Creature Caster for the Demon of Ecstasy. Oh, she's gorgeous. Could never run her. I don't trust the fiends at events, but oh my god.
Just that name alone, Demon
Juan
of
Diaz Demonettes. Oh my god. No one Google that on a public line. Also, no, I don't know what those are. Just from the context of this conversation, it sounds bad. No further questions.
That's NSFW, man. Not safe for work. Don't open it up at work, man. Don't do it.
No,
don't do it. It's gonna be like TED 2, man. It's gonna be like TED 2. You're gonna have to destroy your computer and get a new one.
Zephyl, soul grinders are amazing, and they are the secret sauce that I think makes demons work. And people hate on them, and they're dumb. You can quote me. Yes, the Juan Diaz models are technically GW and legal, but also good luck running them at an event. Just a quick side thing, soul grinders, guys, seriously, those things are freaking amazing in Slaanesh and Khorne. Oh my god. No, just trust me on it. Run them on Tabletop Simulator, you'll see. Maxwell, I can't enter this officially, but no. Because there are 4 datasheets for Slaanesh in the Codex.
Right.
And there are more than 4 that are missing. All the chariots, the named characters, the generic characters, the soul grinder, the only vehicle. So I don't, and like that's 4 categories that there's like in named characters. Yeah, in named characters alone, you have Selesky, the get back up on a 2-up the first time they die, and the mask, the Slaanesh Lone-Op. Those aren't going away.
No, they're not getting folded up in one codex. They're going to be in their own codex. They're only allowing a certain amount of allies per different legion, right, or different mark of the legion. Yeah. So you can see that now. It's very obvious.
And that's what I said towards the beginning of this episode. Is and this isn't my idea. It's from a friend of mine who, when I was actually doom and gloom about demons, he kind of was the voice of reason. Big thanks to him. I don't want to name. I don't know if he's shy or not, but he pointed out that, hey, these might just be the Emperor's children demons.
Yes.
And if so, this is a very elegant way for GW to keep the ally rule, but control it so it's not anymore like, oops, blue scribes and lone ops and nurglings. Sorry, that's all I can bring. That's all I want to bring. Where it's
just becomes exponentially more challenging to balance it out too.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And just
you try to combine 2 different codexes. And demons being super large. I mean, you got Nurgle, you got all the marks, right? So trying to take that into a Slaanesh just becomes a challenge.
Yeah, but it's not only saying only your god can come in, saying only your god and they're only gonna let you use these units.
Yeah.
Because like, other than maybe the Seekers, none of these units are Slaanesh. Sorry, there's 5. It's Shalaxi, Keepers, Fiends, Demonettes, Seekers. But still, you're taking the greater demons, the generic and the one named. You're taking their battle line, and you're taking, midfield fast brawler and fiends, and you're taking the fastest unit Slaanesh has, which is the Seekers. Yep. Scout 9, move 14. So I think if they do a good sampler of the demons to say these, you can bring these allies, it'll really help and give them their own data sheet. Please, GW, do not make this a standard for Slaanesh demons. They will die. Yeah, I think it's a good way to balance it, because these aren't even bad. Like we said, the 90-point OC1 demonettes, they're not OC2, which again, really don't think they're going to make the only battle line for that army OC1. Just don't see it happening. Fights first. And battle shock test beginning of the fight phase, which can work in Emperor's Children with Cacophonous, giving them -1 to leadership until their next shooting phase. Also, Fulgrim, I'm jumping all over the place, I'm sorry, but I really like Fulgrim's last ability, which is no fallback unless you have a leadership test.
Yep.
Yes, he can be shot, but he's -1 at that point, and at that point, he is a tougher keeper of secrets. No feel no pain, but he's T11, 2-up save, 4-up invuln, -1 to hit. And turn 1, he'll die. Turn 3, after you've gotten 3 units of Noise Marine shooting and a Tormentor and Lord charge and Lucius into something, who's to say if he dies? At that point, your opponent's got a bunch of other things going on. But back to the Slaanesh demons.
So I think Max, right? I don't think they're not going to Legends.
No.
What's going to happen is, and if you've used allies before, what ends up happening, right? Specifically, me playing World Eaters, you don't get the keywords to apply those data sheets, those bonuses too. So it becomes some stupid mechanism, right? That you can't use your actual allies, even if they are your same god. So this is an easy way to really streamline it, balance it out, and make those abilities apply to them as well, which is really good, right? Because you want Demonettes to have advanced in charge. You want Seekers and Fiends to have advanced in charge, or the rule or the Codex abilities with that. So all soup is watered down. Not my soup, not Puerto Rican soup.
So the thing about it, Maxwell, the auto take one is probably the -1 to hit just all the time.
Yeah.
That's probably the auto take.
Sancocho. I love it.
But fight first is cool if you're playing another melee army. You just and I think Emperor's Children are going to be a great teams army, honestly. Because if you put them on layout 7 or 8, and you just put Fulgrim where he cannot be shot until they are danger close, and then just block those danger close places with reactive moving spawn or just empty rhinos at that point, it gets real risky for them to breach your half the board. Now, conversely, if you're on even layout 2 or 6, not even 4 or 5, you're going to feel some pain because people just line up shots into you, try to hold objectives, and you will die.
Yep. Yeah, Imperial Knights, you know what? I actually like what they're doing with Imperial Agents. Imperial Knights might get that treatment as well. They might get a points reduction or a points increase when they're added into Space Marines and things like that. And if you've noticed recently in the meta, some Space Marine factions, like Space Wolves, I've seen Imperial Fist, I've seen a couple Space Marine factions actually allying Knights and making them exponentially better.
Death Guard. So, Death Guard are notorious for taking Brigands
and stuff like that. Yep.
Even some World Eaters players, flip-flop between a Forge Fiend or 2 Brigands just for, some amount of range threat. Real ones know you take Lord of Skulls, but it's okay. They can, scrounge around the bottom.
He's not an ally, though, which is awesome. He's actually part of the book.
Now, I want you to look these kind people in the eye, and you lie to them and say, when World Eaters let you take Angron, a Bloodthirster, and Scarbrand, you're not going to do it.
Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. Shit, I might. It's gonna be Angron, Scarbrand, and hopefully 3 Bloodthirsters.
For those of you who don't know, I tried talking this man on our 20-hour journey to Missouri into allying in, not even an event, just had like a for fun game, a Bloodthirster unit or Bloodletter unit, because you have to have a battle line right now, and Scarbrand. He was like, what does Scarbrand even do? And then I educated him on the flat damage 6 and going Super Saiyan when he's below a certain amount of wounds. And just for like a half a second, his eyes glistened. Then he asked, he doesn't get any rules though, does he? I'm like, nope. He's like, how many points is he in the Bloodletters? Then it died. The dream just died.
The dream died. It's dead, but it's alive if they give it the Emperor's Children. My
supreme wish list is for it to go the other way. When demons get their codexes, each demon detachment can take an amount of points of their legion. Not generic CSM, because I want nothing more than to run Shalaxi and 3 Keepers and Selesky and the Mask and Fulgrim. I will lose. I'll lose, but my God, am I going to have fun.
You're going to have a great time.
And my opponent is going to get wet. No further questions. I just watching you chew on it. On Space Marines. Oh, that's funny. Oh God. If I was in the market for one more army, I'd get Emperor's Children and join you, Zeffel. Moist. Hey, Maxwell, you get it.
You get
Dewy. More viscous than dew, but you're on the right track.
I love it. I love it. Man with all that.
Getting back to this weekend, I don't know if you mentioned it, but I saw something right before the show that made me both incredibly happy and also severely sad about the Grand Onslaught 9. Apparently, there are some more tickets back on the market.
There's been some drops. A lot of people, I get it, right? It's one of those things you have to toss up. Some people don't want to deal with the new slate. I always say, I hate the fact of dealing with the old when there's something new out there, especially when it comes in the world of Warhammer 40K, right? So you're going to have people who are going to drop off the planet, because they don't want to participate in something like that. They're not getting a lot of practice. I go to GTs, not exclusively to win. I go have fun. So my mentality is different than other people. Some people just go there knowing that they have a broken list. And is that you? No, that's not you.
No, I have a question. I lied. It's not a question. You're a liar. You go to GTs to officiate.
That too. People just get upset, man. What were you gonna say, Thomas?
Oh, I was gonna answer Maxwell's question. You're much more suited to answer, but if you want to hit it first, this is definitely more your field.
Oh, our war leaders surviving the current meta. I don't see anything going up. There's no reason to. I mean, their win percentage is like 40, 42.
Well, I think he means how are they doing like right now? Like if you went to an event right now and took world leaders, how would you feel about it?
Oh, the current meta. Sorry.
Yeah.
It stands the same. It's still like a 40% win rate. So are they better? They got a glow up going against Eldar, right? In the current meta.
Really?
They can apply a lot of pressure. Yeah, because they can apply a lot of pressure, really take out those units. Like Fire Dragons, Dark Reapers, like we could reach out and touch them really fast. So they just disappear. A lot of people are not taking a lot of boats. If you look at Eldar, and this is coming from someone who plays with a lot of boats, specifically with Harlequins, right? Everything is inside of a boat, it's inside of a transport. Eldar's not doing that. They're taking maybe 1 or 2 Wave Serpents, throwing maybe Fire Dragons in there to get them out there a little bit quicker. So I think they got a glow up against Eldar. They actually performed very well over the weekend against Eldar. I think they're still in an okay spot. I don't think they got worse. I think they got a little bit better, but not much.
If I had to say, I'd say they were probably like the poster child of a C tier army, where like you can win, but it is much more you punching up than the army doing work for you. The main caveat is if every time you roll your blood dice, Angron comes back 4 times in a match, you're A+ tier. You're just not. I don't know how many fire dragons you brought. You're not killing Angron 4 times.
Not 4 times, and once they get hit in return, they're just done. They're so soft, man. That's the problem now. Is that Eldar is more balanced now than it's ever been, to be quite honest with you.
Toilet dice. What a call! Wow.
Toilet dice. Nah, I wouldn't be nervous to play Eldar, man. I mean, Ynnari, yes, but not Eldar.
Well, the one exception. One major exception. Did you watch
the thing with Ynnari is that their timing needs to change. But what were you going to say, Thomas?
I actually watched the Scorched Earth Open from War Games Live. I mentioned another channel on here. I know everyone watches his channel. But I was watching it because it was Tau in the finals, and my buddy, anime plays Tau, and he damn near tabled him by turn 2. Playing Caillou. Didn't even have his army rule yet. And he was doing something that I've been encouraging my buddy to do, where it's like he just took smart missile systems and just shelled them. And because they're hitting on 4s, winning on 3s, he's not killing 5 aspect warriors in a go. He's killing like 3 or 2, and then like another 2. So like it's like an all target a guy or just 2 guys left. And the Ynnari player's like, all right, my 5 warp spiders and Altark is just the warp spider and an Altark.
Yeah,
great. And and then turn 3 hit, over half his army was dead, and the Tau guy's like, cool, I lost a Riptide and like 2 vehicle chassis and 1 infantry. Oh, I guess it's staying 2 now. And it did not get better for the Eldar player.
Indirect fire is going to destroy Eldar.
Indirect fire, and God help them if it's damage too, because then putting it on the Exarch does nothing. They're like, oh, I'll buy an extra save by putting it on the Exarch if it's 1 day, it's 2 damage. Oh.
Yep.
Now, that is hyper-specific, and Ynnari is still very much a problem. Oh my god. Because their other thing is, if you damage them but don't kill them, they get fight first all of a sudden.
Yep.
Like, those armies like, oh, if you're below starting strength, get +1 hit, below half strength, get +1 to wound. Theirs is, oh, you're not starting strength? Fight first. Just go ahead and have it on the house.
Yep.
Now that said, Eldar are, my god, are they brittle. I did not even conceptually realize it. Me and a buddy played a practice game, and I took Simulation Swarm for the first time, and like the Psychophage and Pyrovores, like the stuff you'd want to take. Mm-hmm. And my flamers were lethal. I'm like, yeah, they got some like dinky flamers. I might like pick a guy or 2. I'm gonna pick up whole squads, and I'm like, why? Like, I feel bad. This was supposed to be a practice game. So they are like Gretchen will threaten a unit of 5 aspect warriors. I'm not joking.
No, it's true. Zogrod and 22 Gretchen.
They'll wipe.
We'll wipe them. We'll wipe them.
They'll wipe a 10-man. Not even a 5.
They'll wipe a 10-man. It's true.
Eldar are just, unless you meet the god of rolling 5-up invulns, they will fall like dominoes.
Yep.
Now that being said, they're dominoes all packing a nuke. So if they hit you first, you're gonna die.
That's the definition of a glass hammer.
Yeah, no, they are the glassiest of hammers.
Yes. Yep.
But Eldar are. I've said it before. I said it on the Elf show. They are in a bad spot because that army rule makes it real hard to balance other rules for them. Also, fire dragons are too insane.
They're going to go up.
I cannot get over how they got rid of the Eradicator brick, acknowledging what a problem it was, and then just gave the same exact combo to Eldar for less hoops. It's like, taking a character and an enhancement in this unit is a lot. What did we just took the unit?
Apples and oranges, though. Like I always say, apples and oranges. T6, Armor of Contempt. You could potentially do -1 to wound, depending what faction you put it on, right? They are not only super deadly, they're super resilient, too. Eradicators.
Let me ask you a question. If someone moves a wave serpent 22 inches, not unheard of, puts their fire dragons out, says no Overwatch this unit, shoots your one, I don't know, Lord of Skulls. Let's just hypothetically point out a unit, domes it, and then looks at Angron and tells him, "I dare you to flinch." and then the Eldar opponent looks at you and says, "Don't worry, they're super fragile. You'll kill them as soon as you touch them." After Angron and Lord of Skulls have died.
Yeah. True indeed. True indeed.
And not to diminish your point.
They can't survive.
Yeah, that's the again, it's a weird predicament, right? Because they're super fragile, but holy crap, if you have monster of equal keyword, you are just dead.
Yeah.
Player error, should have put him in reserve.
Big time. Big time. That is definitely player error.
Unironically, my plan for beating Guard at the last team event, if I got them on table 5, because I told my team I'd take them. Like, I'll take Guard on table 5. I'm not scared. My plan was using Vanguard redeploys and just normal 1,000 point to only deploy one Exocrine, my Biovore, one Neurolictor, and the Flying Hive Tyrant, and everything else was going in reserves. All 30 Gene Stealers, the rest of my Lictor, like, yep, cool. Go ahead, buddy. I'll just rapidly rest and advance and charge.
What are you hitting them with? You put what is the freaking Tau, the small Tau unit? Oh my gosh.
Breachers.
Who?
Breachers.
Yeah. You put a unit of breachers into them and they're done. They're not gonna make all them 5-up saves.
See, you got to get breachers effective, you gotta use a Devil Faith, they overwatch the Devil Faith, it's all bad. No, you don't want that. You know what you want? Crew talks riders through a wall.
Or that.
Charge mortals. Maxwell, buddy. 9th is less lethal, or 10th is less lethal than 9th. Oh my god, is it ever less lethal than 9th?
Crisis Suits is too much points for that. You throw some breachers into there, dude. So you don't sacrifice getting them killed.
I've been trying to.
You're marking up way too high.
I've been trying to sell them on missile broadsides. Just 2x2 missile sides, just lobbing them downrange all game.
And that's all you got to do. You don't need to invest Crisis Suits. That's how you get your Crisis Suits dead. By pushing them up too far to Eldar.
I like Haldrakes. I love dragons. If I had the money, I would own 3 of the Tyranid dragons. Oh my god, I can't remember them. Not the Hierophant, the Harridan. Helldrakes are awesome. Emperor's Children Helldrakes are actually pretty cool. Maxwell. Let the salt purify you, and you will. It's like Dune, right? Fear is the mind killer. You must let it pass through you.
Swooping Hawks, 30 of them. Just get within my 9-inch bubble, and I'm just gonna throw mortals at you.
You know what's funny about Flyover Mortals? Every game I've ever, whether it's Void Raven Bomber or Swooping Hawks or 9th edition Wraiths, someone's like, "Oh, if I move over, you want to do Mortals on a 4-up or whatever," and I'm like, "All right." You don't care? I'm like, "No." How close do you got to get? Oh, all right, yep. Sure. New app is a map. Then using the new app is very user friendly. That is the nicest thing I can say about it. Yes.
He said the nicest thing I can say about it.
He said glass half full. I'm trying to keep the energy.
It's true though. Dude, what I hate the most about that app is that I always have to go to Warcom to get the rule that I really want to find because the app is not easy to search. It's not good at searching for things.
Yeah, stuff that's in the FAQs and updates, you have to specifically go to that update and find it.
Yeah.
They're not. None of you have looked it up, they're not all together. No. If you want a faction update, you got to go to that factions page and then hit FAQ and updates. Not just.
Yep.
So yeah, I will say though, if anyone here is feeling their blood pressure is a little bit too low, download the Age of Sigmar app and look at every single army and data scroll they have for free.
For free, and it's amazing.
And then go look at the 40K one.
Yep. And you pay for it, and it's crap. in comparison, it's crap. Yeah, in comparison. So
Yeah.
So going on to Grand Onslaught 9, just kind of wanted to wrap up. I know we're an hour and 34 minutes in. A lot of people got to go to work tomorrow, stuff like that, and I don't want to hold Thomas here forever hostage. Even though
it's okay, I'm into it.
Say it again.
It's okay, I'm into it.
So you're Slaanesh then.
You're a sexy host.
It's your beard. That's all.
I have 20 more demonettes I need to build. I'm in no hurry.
So for those of you coming out to Grand Onslaught 9, like I was saying before, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for everyone to stop by, check it out, check out the vendors. Please stop by, check out the vendors. Grab some EC product if you're looking to get into EC. For those of you participating, right? There's going to be a bunch of EC stuff there. It's going to be a show Saturday night as well. There's going to be food, a bar. There's so much that's going on in Grand Onslaught 9. I've also pushed list submission until Friday, waiting for something that is potentially dropping, right? Tomorrow.
Me too.
Sorry. I got the lingering COVID. My bad.
Hey, real quick. If someone were interested in attending the event with one of these newly available slots, how much is a ticket?
$85, no tax. Uncle Sam does not dare step foot on my reserve.
There'll be a nice man in a black suit tomorrow asking you about all your past 10 years of fiscal purchases.
I see you've been lacking tax write-offs.
Your cooperation is appreciated and mandatory.
Say it one more time into the mic.
with the camera recording live. Yep.
Exactly. Say a little bit louder. Make it clear. Stop speaking Spanglish. I was just joking, people. It was totally a joke. I was gassing people up, as otherwise known as gaslighting.
So Zeffel has a joke that you'll get. It's lost on me, but maybe I'm not cultured enough.
Walter Mercado, oh my god.
Yep, nope, the problem was me. Good job, Zeffel.
Yes, he's absolutely right. Oh my gosh, exactly. I am the Walter Mercado. Oh my gosh. I grew up with that stuff, watching my mother watch that stuff all the time. And I just always thought to myself how ridiculous it is.
So, based off of that, with no reference whatsoever after the show, I'm going to get some lotto numbers from you.
The problem is, he was so erratic and so out there on things. It was just like, I don't believe anything you're saying.
Is this what he could have meant? Or was it the PCP? Who knows?
Well, everything was blessings. He's always like, everyone's gonna be blessed. Everything is gonna be blessed. You're gonna have an amazing day, amazing life.
That's not coming on this patch. Someone's getting nerfed. I mean, I guess maybe it's a blessing for the rest of us.
It could be. It could be. It could be. There's gonna be a lot of sad people tomorrow, man. I'm just saying. Maybe angry too.
You know, Zeffel, you joke, but I do have a good luck ritual I do before every game, including practice games. It's very simple. I take a picture of my army, and I text my girlfriend I love her. I'm on a 9-game win streak. Do what you will with that information.
So before you get those lotto numbers, I'm going to need to sacrifice a goat.
How old does the goat have to be? Look, I drive a lot in Florida Countryland. I can source a goat. Don't ask any further questions. Don't watch the news.
Don't watch the news.
Mine is taking a shot. Zeffel, how are you by round 7? I'm just curious.
Sleep or slump? Which one?
I remember the first event I ever went to like first like big tournament, Cherokee. There's just a bar in the back and like watching people drink while they play. I'm like, is this normal? Do people just do this? To be fair, we were in a casino playing, so you know. But I'm just watching people have the time of their lives. Like, it's not even round 2 yet, and people are hammered. And I'm like, oh boy, man, I am not. Woo, I'm a poser. I should not be playing Warhammer.
As long as they're happy drunk, they're more than welcome at Grand Onslaught 9. You get those angry drunks, and yeah.
So nothing to do with Slaanesh or Onslaught, but oh my god, I am so excited for this September. I am ordering the hotel within the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be so set.
For Crucible?
Yeah, I have entirely too high of expectations based on last year. I flew so close to the sun, and I just, it's going to be great. I'm also going to bring board games. So I did not realize the massive amount of time after the days.
Yes, Friday. Not Saturday, not so much, but Friday.
Yeah,
and Thursday, right? Like you want to go in there, have a good time too.
So yeah, anyone wants to play Speedo oiled up Twister? Meet me in my room.
And he has Speedos on. That's what he meant.
Yeah. We all do. Everyone wears a Speedo. That's it. That's all.
Just a Speedo. That's it.
And by oil, I mean whiskey. Everyone's covered in whiskey.
Exactly. I know what you mean. Baby oil, 1,000 bottles. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. No diddy. Did you know that that's the name of the club I use every time I actually go to play? 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I have noticed. Boy howdy, I don't think we're getting monetized now. If they watch an hour and 40 minutes in, I think we're going to lose the monetization. But yeah, so that was just a fun show night about the event this weekend. Wish I could make it. Someone go in my honor and do me proud.
Bring some Tyranids. Kirk, I'll talk to Kirk for you.
He was definitely taking shots. I love you, Kurt. But I know who you are as a person, and I love you anyway.
Kirk, not Kurt.
Oh, both.
Yeah, you should know Kirk.
Yeah,
Kirk is an awesome individual. All he plays is buffs. And every time I see his army, I just think of you because you're never around. So I'm just like reminiscing.
I played Death Guard at the November team event. I played him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he played Death Guard. We played Supply Drop, and he's the one I won with. He thought he was going to win, and I played the secret mission to get 20 instead of 15. And he's like, "Oh, I should have done that." I'm like, "Yes, sir." in no world was like killing with Tyrion.
Exactly.
And yeah, no, you can have it. You have that. You get your 15. I get 20. Thanks. I win by 7.
Exactly. Which is crazy. I bet you'll never forget that.
He's a monster of a player.
He is. Absolutely amazing individual. Shout out to Kirk, man. Yep. He's a wonderful person. Super quiet. Doesn't get super excited for nothing. He's like the dry-eyed guy where it's just like 1 decibel level all the time. There's no excitement, no hatred, no disdain, none of that. I love the guy. He's always even kill, man. Very smart player too with bugs. And over the weekend, I think he was doing a mirror match. He did very well over the weekend as well.
Tyranid mirror matches are some of the funniest games. Like, all right, half my rules don't matter. Awesome. Half of your rules don't matter.
Yeah, so hopefully I see everybody at Grand Onslaught 9. Come up, stop by, just say hi, come and shop, come and spend some time at the show, 7:30 on Saturday, music show. Check it out if you haven't already on Facebook, Discord. I have it just about everywhere, all the information for that event. And hopefully I see Thomas sometime in the future.
Working on it. This weekend, I'm actually, as much as I would love to go, I am going to support my wonderful partner at a concert she's singing in. So,
oh, nice.
Can't be, roughly 7 hours away from the event and still make the concert. Just not
She could have used my platform to sing there. Just saying.
It's like a 60-person choir concert, so
got it. It's a different vibe. Got it.
I would love to see them singing, like just out of like people playing 40K and they're just singing their hymnals. It'd be great. I'm here for it. She rolled bard. No, she's dating a bard. She's I don't know what she is. But yeah, so and then next weekend I'm getting a wisdom tooth removed on Wednesday, so I'm just out next weekend of everything.
You're out. Yeah.
Catch me in my bed with painkillers and a swollen face. But you all can catch me. I'm gonna be active on your Discord tomorrow. I'm gonna be blowing it up with chat stuff. I went in there and I saw some channels have been active since like mid 2024, and I'm like, oh no. I'll kick the rat's nest. I volunteer.
I love it. Well, everybody's gonna be talking tomorrow, so
right.
Potentially. You know,
if they do, I'll take the credit. I said it now. You all heard it.
You got to start off with that, though. I take the credit. I said that I was going to entertain.
You are all my minions. Obey me and speak your opinions.
There you go.
I'm sure I'll make a lot of friends. we all know how mild-mannered the 40K community is.
You're going to find death threats by the end of the night.
Well, you don't know, Lewis allows something called call-outs at his event, where if two players agree to like mutually play each other, he'll pair them. First round. I'm just gonna walk into it. I have like 6 people lining up. It's like we want to play him. He's been talking mad shit for someone in 20 oak distance.
We want them all now.
They'll go to set up the terrain. I just look you in the eye and just arm sweep it. We won't need this. But that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I have too. So thank you very much to everyone. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. A bunch of people watching. Click that like button if you don't mind. Please. Also, you see this guy. He's very, very hungry. All right? Very, very hungry. I need to buy him lunch. He's got to eat. So please, this is a monetized video. Try to support when you can. I got to feed this gentleman. All right? I got to make sure he stays bald.
Oh, don't worry. It's just a slow migration.
It's genetics. You just blame it on genetics.
I never knew my father.
Everybody have a wonderful night. I love y'all all. Thank you so much for participating as always. We'll be back in 2 weeks with some more live content. Probably trolling everyone as always.
Always. Feel free to hit me up on the Discord or on his Facebook page, because I'm always down to talk mad shit about anything. It's I have the opinions.
He sure does. And I won't be a pretender next week. It'll probably be something else. So.
Also, if anyone never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say. I apologize.
He's got that food-itis. All right, everyone.
I do.
Have a great night.
Everyone have a good night. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah. Bye.